Welcome to History Addict, the place where we unravel the captivating stories that shaped the course of American history. Today, we delve into one of the most famous yet mysterious battles in American history, the Battle of the Little Bighorn. In the wake of Custer's catastrophic defeat on June 25, 1876, at the hands of the combined forces of the Lakota, Northern Cheyenne, and Arapaho, a surprising number of individuals, almost 70, came forward, claiming to have miraculously survived the destruction of Custer's battalion. These self-proclaimed sole survivors often painted dramatic tales of escape, but most were dismissed as fabrications, too far-fetched to believe. However, the idea that one or more soldiers might have evaded death at Little Bighorn remains a captivating possibility. This curiosity lingers, particularly when we consider that fewer than a quarter of the bodies scattered around Custer's final position were conclusively identified. The prospect of survival from a force that was overwhelmingly outnumbered and annihilated invites a tantalizing what-if scenario. But when we turn to verified history, there was only one official survivor of Custer's immediate command, and it wasn't a person. It was a horse, Comanche, ridden by Captain Myles Keough. Found severely injured after the battle, Comanche's survival story became legendary. The horse endured multiple gunshot wounds, but somehow followed the retreating armory column along the Bighorn River. After being nursed back to health, Comanche became a living emblem of the 7th Cavalry. In a show of respect, he was retired with full honors, never to be ridden or worked again. Today, Comanche's remains are preserved at the University of Kansas, serving as a lasting link to that fateful day. But here's the intriguing part. If Comanche could survive, could a soldier have also escaped the battlefield? To get closer to an answer, we must turn to the accounts provided by the Native American warriors who fought that day. Those who were there when Custer and his men met their end. Their testimonies offer the closest insights we have into the events of the battle. Many of these first-hand accounts claim that no soldier survived the battle. Gall, a prominent Hunkpapa Lakota leader, is often quoted as saying, "No, we took no prisoners. Our hearts were bad, and we cut and shot them all to pieces." However, despite Gall's firm declaration, several Native accounts describe a soldier, possibly an officer, attempting a daring escape on horseback. Turtle Rib, a Miniconjou warrior, recalled pursuing this soldier, who appeared to be fleeing the scene before taking his own life. Though Turtle Rib couldn't remember the exact direction the soldier was heading, Spotted Hornbull, another Native eyewitness, claimed to have seen a soldier flee eastward for several miles before ultimately ending his life. He even sketched a rough map to trace the soldier's route. Could these warriors have been referring to the same individual? That remains uncertain, but the thought persists. When Major Marcus Reno's forces finally reached the area where Custer's command made their last stand, they found a number of bodies scattered farther from the main group. Lieutenant Edward Godfrey, leading Company K, reported finding the body of Sergeant Butler near a ford, suggesting that Butler may have died trying to establish contact with Reno's position. A veteran of many battles, Butler was found surrounded by empty cartridge cases, indicating a fierce final stand. Some speculate that he may have been acting as a courier to relay messages, though this remains debatable. John Martin, the last man to receive orders from Custer, later reported that Butler had not been assigned any official communication duties. Another puzzling discovery came on June 28th, just days after the battle. As Stanislaus Roy and Company A ventured north from Reno's camp, they came across the body of Corporal John Foley, lying far ahead of the other fallen soldiers. What's particularly strange is that no dead horse was found near Foley, which adds another layer to the mystery. Could Foley have been the soldier seen fleeing by Native warriors? Some believe so, and this theory was supported by Gall during the 10th anniversary of the battle, when he confirmed that Native fighters had observed a soldier attempting to escape before meeting his end. The uncertainty surrounding the fate of Company C further deepens the enigma of the battle. Most of Custer's companies perished in tightly grouped formations, but Company C's fate remains unclear. Captain Tom Custer, the younger brother of George Custer, was found on Last Stand Hill, where he is believed to have been assisting his brother rather than commanding Company C. Leadership of the company had been left to Second Lieutenant Henry Harrington, whose body was never identified. This absence has sparked speculation and wild theories about what truly happened to Company C during the chaos of battle. The mystery continued to evolve in 1921 when a man named Frank Finkel, a retired farmer, claimed to be a survivor of Custer's battalion. Finkel alleged that he had enlisted under the pseudonym Frank Hall on a dare and somehow survived the massacre after being shot multiple times. He insisted that his horse carried him to safety while he drifted in and out of consciousness. Although Finkel's account is detailed, many historians remain skeptical, especially given the numerous survivor claims made in the decades following the battle. What makes Finkel's story compelling to some researchers is his intimate knowledge of the streams and terrain in the area, along with the discovery of a dead cavalry horse near Rosebud Creek, over 60 miles from the battlefield just after the battle. Finkel's use of the alias Frank Hall and the similarity of this name to August Finkel, a sergeant in Company C, also raises eyebrows. Some historians have even speculated that Frank Finkel and Sergeant Finkel were the same person. Yet, numerous accounts confirm that Sergeant Finkel's body was identified and buried on what is now known as Finley-Finkel Ridge. Moreover, Finkel himself denied being August Finkel, repeatedly stating that he enlisted under the name Frank Hall, 2 years after Sergeant Finkel had joined the Army. And no records show anyone named Frank Hall was present at the Battle of the Little Bighorn. Reading through the many soldier testimonies from that tragic battle, one can discern that authentic survivor stories are often filled with verifiable, cross-reference details. Finkel's account, however, lacks these and appears to be constructed from a mix of media reports and secondhand knowledge. His claim that no one was left to apply to for discharge papers is easily disproven. After the battle, the Army's chain of command remained intact, despite the deaths of officers. For example, Second Lieutenant Charles Varnum was reassigned from Company A to command Company C until a new captain could be found. Not to mention, not all members of Company C perished. Over 20 soldiers survived, as many had been sent on detached duties with the pack train or were too exhausted to continue riding with the main force. Anyone with a solid understanding of the battle would have known this. Had Finkel returned to his unit, he likely would have been celebrated, not treated as a deserter. His survival could have mirrored the reverence shown for Comanche, the horse that survived the massacre. This brings us to another curious part of Finkel's tale: the dead cavalry horse at Rosebud Creek. Lieutenant Godfrey, writing in 1892, documented the discovery of a dead horse shot in the head near Rosebud Creek. Found nearby was a carbine and a grain sack used by the 7th Cavalry, along with a white wool hat bearing the letter C and crossed sabers. Sergeant Daniel Cunipe of Company C identified the hat as belonging to 22-year-old Nathan Short, a young trooper last seen riding with Custer's command. Short's personal equipment, inscribed with his roster number, was also found at the site. This has led some to theorize that Short may have initially escaped the battlefield, only to die later along Rosebud Creek. Today, a small stone marker near State Highway 447, a few miles south of Interstate 94, marks the final resting place of this unknown soldier, possibly Nathan Short. The enduring mysteries of Sergeant Butler, Corporal Foley, Nathan Short, and Frank Finkel leave much to be discussed. What truly happened on that June day in 1876? Was Finkel a survivor, or just another tall tale from the aftermath of one of the most analyzed battles in American history? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you find these stories as captivating as I do, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more untold stories of the American West. Thanks for joining us on History Addict. We'll see you in the next episode.